Hello, what's up YouTube? It's the FNW21 Gamer here, and welcome to my first ever Pokemon Challenge Run. I love Pokemon Challenge Runs and have been watching a lot of them on YouTube, mainly from a YouTuber known as MahDryBread. And because of that, I want to do one on my channel for a long time now. It took me a while to learn what to do, but now I have everything I need to make one. And here's the new video that I made. Today we're going to see, can I beat Pokémon FireRed with a team of only one Pikachu? No, it's not. Okay, that isn't fun. So let's see if I can do what these kinds of challenges are really about. Can I beat Pokémon FireRed while only using Pikachu in battle? Technicality, yeah. I decided to do FireRed with Pikachu for a few reasons. Pikachu is my #1 favorite Pokemon of all time, and I want to do a run with it where I play through its home region, that being the first region of the franchise, Kanto. I would have done Volt Yellow with it for that reason, but that game is based off of Yellow, which was designed to be easier for having Pikachu as a starter. So I decided to go for the remakes of Red and Blue instead. And oh boy, did I make this challenge run harder on myself because of that. Despite being the mascot of the franchise, Pikachu is not a very strong Pokemon in terms of gameplay. Decently high speed, but low everything else, especially HP and physical defense. But in generations 2 through 5, it was even worse. 10 less physical and special defense, making us even frailer. If we don't one-shot the late game enemies, we're probably getting one-shot ourselves. As for its moveset though, by level up it's not all that special. We only get 11 moves total, 5 damage dealing moves, 3 electric type ones and 2 normal type ones, and 6 stats moves, which can either lower the opponent's stats, increase Pikachu's, or paralyze the opponent. By TM though, we get a bit more variety. For damage dealers, we get Steel, Fang, and Ground type moves, but the Ground type move is Dig, so if our opponent knows Earthquake, we're basically doomed. We also get much more stats moves for a wide variety of effects, but a lot of them are for setups, which Pikachu might not be able to last long enough to get use out of. Okay, let's go over the rules. I'm only allowed to use Pikachu in battle. I also can't use glitches or exploits, so I'll need to catch some Pokemon to use as HM slaves, but they won't be allowed to participate in combat. I won't be allowed to use items in battle even if my opponent does, although Pokeballs for catching the Pokemon, held items for Pikachu, and items outside of combat are allowed. I'm writing the script as I go along with the challenge, so I don't know if I can win this or not. Everybody guess if I can win the challenge or not in the comment section below. Please do, comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Or at least that's what MahDryBread says. I think my biggest obstacles in this run will be the first Rock Gem and the 8th Ground Gem. If you like this video, then don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and ring the bell for more. Let's do this! So, in preparation for this video, I learned how to use the Universal Pokemon Randomizer and used it to replace Squirrel with Pikachu. I chose to replace Squirrel so that our rival would have Bulbasaur, which will probably be the hardest for us to fight, as electric-type moves aren't very effective on grass-type Pokemon. I've seen that people often nickname their Pokemon in singular challenge runs, so I decided to do the same. I nickname our Pikachu Pikachu, because I think that's hilarious. Our Pikachu is a male with a brave nature, so more physical attack but less speed. That might be a problem. Pikachu could definitely use a strength boost, but speed is our best stat, so it's really worrying to see it lowered at the start due to our nature, since because Pikachu is so frail, we need to be a fast one-shot sweeper to get by. If we're too slow, we're doomed. Our special ability is Stag, so getting hit by a contact move has a 3% chance to paralyze the opponent, but our frailty means that we might not last long enough for that to come in handy. Let's hope the low speed doesn't screw us over in the future. Wish me luck, guys. My theory that Bulbasaur would be the hardest for us to fight was proven right with our first fight with our rival. I knew that he could hurt us more than we could hurt him, so I used Growl a few times to lower his physical attack, but ultimately didn't help in the end because even with that, our stack ability activating and us getting a critical hit, we still lost the first fight with our rival. That really shows how weak we are when compared to him and his star Pokemon. If we can't beat him, what's the first gym gonna be like? How are we gonna handle the Elite Four? Or the champion fight with him, where I'll have a full team of 6 really strong Pokemon, including his starter Pokemon, which will be fully evolved. I'm really starting to get worried now. After losing, Professor Oak tells me to strengthen my Pokemon by battling wild Pokemon. And boy, do I ever agree with that statement, especially after that loss. Anyone who's watched my Pokemon Let's Play videos knows that I like to grind by walking through all the grass on a route once and battling all the Pokemon that I run into to get to a preferably decent or high level. And that's the first thing we do after leaving the lab. But even that proves difficult due to our frailty, and we end up fainting. I'm really starting to get worried now. Eventually, we finish our training there and later on reach level 9 and take on the optional rival fight. We get our accuracy lowered from Pidgey's sand attack, which allowed it to get a hit on us, and because of that, we don't have enough HP left to last against Bulbasaur, even with Thunder Wave and Growl. Accuracy lowering moves are really going to screw us up too. I try again 3 more times, but the same thing keeps happening. Pidgey's sand attack is really bad to get hit by, and the only way to avoid it is to one-shot the bird Pokemon, but we're just not strong enough to do that yet. On the 5th try, after defeating Pidgey, Pikachu leveled up to 11 and learned Quick Attack, a normal type physical move which does neutral damage against grass and poison type Bulbasaur and uses Pikachu's higher physical attack, giving us the power we needed to finally defeat it and our rival. Finally a victory, but the road's only going to get harder from here on out. While we head through Viridian Forest, we train like crazy in order to prepare for the first gym, where we face Brock and his rock types. Now, on their own, rock and electric types don't really have any type advantages or type disadvantages against each other, but both of Brock's Pokemon are also part ground type, making them immune to electric attacks. Our only other attacking move is normal type, which isn't very effective against rock types, so we're at a real disadvantage here. At least they don't know any ground type moves yet, so they can't hit Pikachu super effectively, but our natural frailty probably means we won't last long regardless. But I do have an idea though. At level 15, Pikachu learns Double Team, which raises its evasiveness stat. With a little bit of luck, we can have enough moves missed for us to squeeze our way through the fight. I know that people generally don't like challenge runners using Double Team to cheese through fights like this, but we're frail and only have a not very effective move to work with. I don't think I have much of a choice here. Alright, so by the time we reach Pure City, we're level 17. We maximize our double teams and minimize his Geodude's attack power with Growl to take as little damage as possible. Despite this, though, Geodude still hits us enough times to leave us with rage HP before we took it out, allowing Onix to just knock us out in one hand the next turn. The Geodude even landed a critical hit on us! What? We landed one on him too, which is the only reason we took it out before we ran out of quick attacks, but since we were going to run out of quick attacks had not been for that critical hit, and we still had an Onix to take out afterwards, I don't think we're strong enough to win this fight yet. With no other option, I head back to Viridian Forest to do some access grinding. I'm going to train Pikachu until he reaches level 20 where he learns Slam, another normal type move that's stronger than Quick Attack but is also less accurate. It may miss a few times, but the extra strength is our only chance right now. At level 20 we try again. Slam is better at taking out Geodude, but we still lose because Geodude hits us so many times. I mean, come on! Our evasiveness is maxed out! How are you still hitting us? Ugh. We try again, and it goes better, but we still ultimately lose to the Geodude and Onix hitting us too many times. And we were so close too! How are they hitting us so many times if Double Team is this OP evasion move? Either I have awful luck, or this move is overrated. Tackle and Rock Tomb aren't 100% accurate either, by the way. Or at least Tackle wasn't back in Gen 3. Womp, third time's the charm. And that ended up being really true here, as our luck seemed to completely turn around. Geodude only hit 2 times total, and we landed a critical hit. Awesome! Onix was a bit more difficult as I managed to land a few Rock Tombs, making us slower than it, and our Slam missed a few times. But in the end, we managed to just barely survive and knock it out, finally winning us the gym battle. Yes! But we're not out of the woods yet. Next up is going through Mount Moon, a place that is jack full of wild ground and rock type Pokemon and trainers who use them, which are murder for us considering Brock's Rock Gym. I'm really not looking forward to this, especially since we don't have any ethers or elixirs. Wish me luck, guys. Okay, so Mount Moon wasn't actually all that bad. The only trainer who came close to beating us was this hiker guy with 2 Geodudes and an Onix, but we still managed to come out on top in the end. Actually, I think he's the only hiker in Mount Moon. At least he's the only one I ran into. I honestly thought there'd be more. Oh well. On my way out though, I took the Helix fossil. I knew that if I didn't say what I picked, everyone would ask. Actually, now that I think about it, everyone go ahead and ask anyway. Comments are good for #MahDryBread. The next gym is in Solarian City, where we face Gym Leader Misty. I don't think we're going to have a difficult time there, since Misty uses water types and we're using an electric type, especially since Pikachu learned Thunderbolt in Mount Moon. And yep, I just one-shot both of our Starfish Pokemon. Easiest gym in the run. After that, we fire a rival in front of the Nugget Bridge. Pidgeot hit us with a quick attack, only to get paralyzed by our stack ability and one-shot by Thunderbolt. Rattata was a one-shot with Thunderbolt too. We missed a Slam on Abra, but can only use Teleport, which does nothing in battle, so we one-shot with Slam on the next turn. Last is Ivysaur, who we missed a Slam on, allowing it to put us to sleep with Sleep Powder. We stayed asleep for ages while it willed us down with Vine Whip, with Stack activating again in the process. But we finally woke up and landed a Slam, surviving with 8 HP from its last Vine Whip, and finish it off with Quick Attack, just barely winning us the fight. Whew! Okay, so on my way to Route 6, I catch a bunch of Meowth due to a trick I learned from watching challenge runs. Meowth have the ability Pickup, meaning that they'll sometimes generate items after fights, even if they don't fight themselves. So, with 5 Meowths in my party, it'll maximize the chance of me getting a free item. I'm hoping to get a bunch of rare candies this way to make training Pikachu faster and easier. I can also get nuggets this way, which are great items to sell for money. On the SSN, I picked up the TM for Brick Break and set to Pikachu, so we'll be able to better deal with rock types, as well as give us an edge against normal, ice, dark, and steel types should we ever run into any of those. We really need this move in order to deal with the dual ground and rock types that we'll run into in the future. Later on in the SSN, we fire a rival again. Pidgeot was a one-shot with Thunderbolt, Raticate was a one-shot with Brick Break, Kadabra was also a one-shot with Thunderbolt, and the last is Ivysaur, where I worry that I should have replaced Brick Break with Quick Attack rather than Slam. It was just so inaccurate. I first used Double Team to dodge Sleep Powder, but we're hit with it anyway, so that's immediate dramatic flashbacks to the Nugget Bridge fight. But our stack ability activated, paralyzing Ivysaur and keeping him from attacking. Thanks to that and our double team, we keep from getting hit twice before he lands one more Vine Whip before we wake up. Our double team allows us to dodge his Leech Seed, so we two-shot him with Quick Attack without much issue. I guess I didn't need Slam after all. Next up is the Vermilion City Gym with a leader, Lieutenant Surge. He starts with Voltorb, who we one-shot with Brick Break. Next is his Pikachu, and we prove who's the superior Pika by also one-shotting him with Brick Break, but we're paralyzed by Static. Last is his Raichu, and I'm worried because of our paralysis. but we never got fully paralyzed and Raichu only used quick attacks. A Brick Break brought him down to red health and used a super potion so quick attack couldn't finish him off, but one last Brick Break could, proving that we're the superior evolution stage and winning us the fight. In between that and Rock Tunnel, I catch 10 Pokemon until I have 10 register in the Pokédex so I can get the HM for Flash and teach it to one of the Meowths. With it, Rock Tunnel is so much easier. I hate aimlessly wandering in the dark. Next up is the Pokemon Tower Rival fight. His first 4 Pokemon are one-shots with Thunderbolt. Pidgeot got a quick attack on us but got paralyzed by Static. The last Pokemon is Ivysaur, so I double teamed twice to avoid its power moves. Because of that, we dodged literally all of its attacks while we will it down with quick attack and take it out, winning us the fight. Dang, that was easy. After that, it's the Giovanni Game Corner fight. He has ground-type Pokemon Onix and Rhyhorn, but they're also part rock-type, so they were both one-shots with Brick Break. Kangaskhan is a normal-type Pokemon, so Brick Break is also super effective, but she hung on with just a sliver of health to wham us with a powerful Mega Punch, taking out around a third of our health. After that, we just used Quick Attack to finish her off. Another easy win. While we're in Celadon City, we go to the local gym and its leader, Erica. The gym's grass type, so Thunderbolt won't be very effective, and most of Kanto's grass types are also part poison type, so Brick Break won't be very effective either, and Quick Attack is low in base power, so might teach Pikachu Return. I picked up the TM for it near Lavender Town. Return is a normal type move that grows stronger the more your Pokemon likes you. The last time I remember Pikachu fainting is in Baroque's gym, so that means Pikachu will probably like me a lot by now. That means Return should be very strong. That should carry me through the gym. Battle time. Both Victory Bell and Tangela were one-shots with Return, but Vileplume managed to hold on at red health and paralyze us with Stun Spore. Erica used a Hyper Potion to heal Vileplume back to full health, but another Return puts it back to red. We're fully paralyzed on the next turn, allowing Vileplume to heal us with Giga Drain, regaining a bit of health, but it wasn't enough to save it from one last Return, winning us the fight. Side note, Pikachu was actually still faster than Vileplume, despite being paralyzed, which halves our speed. And our nature lowers our speed. How did that happen? Next up is a self-co rival fight. Pidgeot uses Quick Attack but gets paralyzed by Stack, so we one-shot with Thunderbolt. Gyarados and Growlithe are one-shots with Thunderbolt too, but both have Intimidate, which lowers physical attack, so our physical attack is halved. Because of that, I tried to use Thunderbolt on Alakazam, but it took 2 to take it out, allowing it to use Future Sight. Last is Venusaur, so we used Double Team once to avoid Sleep Powder, but we don't dodge Future Sight. I then use Return to take out around a third of its health, but Sleep Powder hits the second time, putting us to sleep. We don't wake up in time, and our dodge chance isn't high enough, so we ended up losing. Wow, that was our first loss in a while. I should have used Double Team more. Okay, second try. This time I used 2 double teams on Pidgeot, allowing it to land 2 quick attacks on us and not get paralyzed. After that, we one-shot the first 3 Pokemon and get our physical strength halved from Intimidate like the last time. This time I used Return on Alakazam and it wasn't a one-shot like I feared, but I used Calm Mind instead of Future Sight, so there's no threat with that. We finished it off with a Brick Break. Last is Venusaur again, and despite our double teams, it hit with Sleep Power on the first try, and were put to sleep again! Fortunately, because of our double teams, it could only land 1 Razor Leaf, and we ended up waking up after 1 turn, so we managed to get 3 returns for the knockout and win us the fight. Guess it was just bad luck last time. Right after that, it's a self-co Giovanni fight. Neo barely hung on from Thunderbolt, so he hit us with a weak Poison Sting, so we took him out the next turn. Neo Queen was dropped to yellow health from Return and hit us with a critical hit with Poison Sting. We took her on the next turn too. Kangaskhan survived a super effective Brick Break but missed her Mega Punch, so we took her on the next turn without issue. Last is Rhydon, who also survived a super effective Brick Break and brought us to low yellow health from Fury attacking 5 times in a row. But we just took him out on the next turn with Brick Break, winning us the fight. After that, I go to the game corner and convert my saved up money into coins to get the TM for Iron Tail. It's a strong steel type move that may lower the opponent's physical defense. Yes, it tends to be inaccurate and is ever so slightly less powerful than a full powered Return, but adds type variety, giving us something other than Thunderbolt to hit ghost types with, which may come in handy during the Elite Four. Next up is a Saffron Seed gem with Leer Sabrina. Kadabra was a one-shot with Thunderbolt. I missed Iron Tail on Mr. Mime, and he used Barrier to raise his physical defense, so I used Thunderbolt. It didn't quite take it out, but Sabrina spammed Barrier and Hyper Potion, so eventually I took it out without getting hit. Next was a Venomoth? This is supposed to be a Psychic type gem. Why does she have a bugged Poison type? The gem trainers had Ghost and Poison type Ghastly and Haunter too. What's with all of the Poison types? Anyway, Venomoth missed its Supersonic and we took it out with 2 Thunderbolts. Last was Alakazam, who was a one-shot with Iron Tail, giving us a no-hit sweep for a win. After that was Fuchsia Say's gym leader Koga. I think I should have done this before Sabrina due to both the levels of the Pokemon and the aura of the badges on the in-game trainer card. Anyway, the first Coughing was a one-shot with Thunderbolt, and the Muck right after survived one on red health. Koga tried to stall with Minimize and a Hyper Potion, but it didn't work and we took it down. After that, the second Coughing and the Wheezing afterwards were one-shots with Thunderbolt, giving us another easy no-hit sweep. On my way through the Seafoam Islands, I ended up running into Articuno. Wow, that's never happened before. I got to a sliver of health with 2 Brick Breaks, but I didn't have any Pokeballs other than the Master Ball, which I'm saving for Mewtwo if I run into it, since I have all of the HM slaves only at this point, so I just took it out with a 3rd Brick Break. After that, Splain's gym at Cinnabar Island. Growlithe lured our physical attack with Intimidate, but we one-shot with Thunderbolt. Ponyta and Rapidash were one-shots too. Last is Arcanine, who Kara attacked to half with another Intimidate. We hit with Thunderbolt, but it manages to hang on with red health and hit us with a powerful Fire Blast that took out a good chunk of our health, and burned us. We try to take him out with another Thunderbolt, but he stalls us with Hyper Potions, and because of that and our burn willing us down, we actually almost lose. We do manage to win with one last Thunderbolt eventually, but that was a close fight. Finally, it's the Viridian City Gym battle with Giovanni. I've been dreading this fight for the entire run, since it's a ground type fight and the Pikachu's an electric type, so we're at a bad disadvantage. And I was right. Our first Iron Tail missed against Rhyhorn, but only used Scary Face to have our speed. But we're still faster, so I attack first, and the second Iron Tail hit for a one-shot. Next is Duggardo, and our next Iron Tail hit again for another one-shot. Third is Neoqueen, but our Iron Tail missed, allowing Neoqueen to land a powerful Earthquake, taking us just below half of our health. The second Iron Tail didn't one-shot, so another Earthquake brings us to red health. I tried to finish her off with Brick Break, but Giovanni used a Hyper Potion, so she survived with yellow health due to me landing a critical hit. But Neoqueen's Poison Point ability activated, causing us to get poisoned, and we did have enough health to survive even one round of poison damage, so we lost the fight. The next try went a little better. This time I used Brick Break on Rhyhorn and it was still a one-shot, as was Duggardo with Iron Tail, and Neoqueen was one-shot by Iron Tail this time too. But we get poisoned from Poison Point again. Next was Neoking, but Iron Tail missed, allowing Neoking to take us out with a critical Earthquake! Dang it! Gotta dodge that Earthquake. Okay, 3rd time's the charm. This time I maxed out my double teams before taking out Rhyhorn and Duggardo. But it turns out that didn't matter, because Iron Tail never missed this time, allowing us to one-shot both Neoqueen and King with no resistance, except for getting poisoned from Poison Point a 3rd time, and take out the second Rhyhorn with one more Brick Break. Huh, I guess it just came down to luck. After that, it's the final rival fight before the Elite Four. We one-shot Pidgeot with Thunderbolt, but strikes first with Quick Attack, dealing chip damage. We one-shot Rhyhorn with Brick Break afterwards, and next is Gyarados, who lowers our attack with Intimidate. We one-shot it with a quad super effective Thunderbolt. Next is Growlithe, who also has Intimidate, so our attack is halved. We one-shot it with a critical hit from Thunderbolt. Alakazam survived an Iron Tail on red health because of our Lord attack, but just used Disable, so we took it out with Brick Break. But this means we can only use not very effective moves against Venusaur, and that proves to be our downfall against it. It spammed Growth to raise its special attack, and we spammed Thunderbolt until Disable wore off. But Venusaur used Synthesis whenever we got low, so we were in a bad spot. I used Iron Tail, but it didn't do much more from our lurid attack, and thanks to the growths, all it took was 2 Razor Leaves to take us out. I should have used Double Team. Second try, and I maxed out Double Team on Pidgeot before one-shotting it, but it manages to hit us with 2 quick attacks and a Feather Dance, so our attack is already down. Because of that, Rhyhorn isn't a one-shot, but missed its takedown thanks to Double Team, so we take it out in the next turn. Gyarados and Growlithe are both one-shots, but they both have Intimidate, so our attack is down 4 stages now. Alakazam just barely survived Thunderbolt with a sliver of health, but it got paralyzed, which paralyzed us too thanks to its Synchronize ability. It couldn't move, we couldn't move, it missed Disable, and we took out with Brick Break. Last is Venusaur. I use 2 Iron Tails while it uses 2 Growths. I switch to Thunderbolt while it lands a powerful Razor Leaf, leaving us at low yellow health. Thankfully, its next 2 Razor Leafs miss, and 2 more Thunderbolts were enough to finish it off, winning us the fight. By the time we get to the Elite Four, we're level 99. Here's our stats. If we get to level 100 before the champion rival fight, I'll record the stats again. These stats look really good, but I'm judging them on a high level Pikachu, which we're using, and I don't know how they compare to other Pokemon of the same level. I really like the speed stat going for us, which is weird since our nature lures our speed. How did that happen? But I'm not too sure about the other stats, especially not the defensive stat. Less than 100. Oof. Make your final guesses on whether or not I can win this run. Let's do this. First is Ice Trainer Lorelei. Her first 3 Pokemon were one-shots with Thunderbolt due to them being part Water type, with only Cloyster managing to stall us with Protect. Lapras was a lot of trouble though. She survived a Thunderbolt with red health and confused us with Confuse Ray. Afterwards, she used a full restore while we Thunderbolt her again. Another full restore later, and we hear ourselves in confusion twice, allowing her to use 2 Surfs on us. Finally, after that, we snapped off confusion and took her out with a critical Thunderbolt. Last was Jinx, but we missed Iron Tail, allowing her to easily take us out with Ice Punch. Okay, that was just bad luck. I should have tried Brick Break. Next try! The first 3 Pokemon were exactly the same, but Brick Break didn't one-shot Lapras this time and we got confused again. But because of Lapras' Citrus Berry, Lorelei didn't use a full restore, and we managed to break through the confusion and take it out with another Brick Break. Oh, and look at that! We're at level 100 now, and there are our final stats. Yay. The last is Jinx. We heard ourselves in confusion, allowing Jinx to get an attract on us, causing us to fall in love with her. The infatuation then kept us from attacking, letting Jinx get a lovely kiss on us, putting us to sleep. This, of course, kept us from attacking even longer, allowing Jinx to take us out with 2 Ice Punches, one being a critical hit. Alright, we're level 100 now, let's see if Thunderbolt can one-shot Lapras this time. Okay, 3rd time's the charm. The start went the same way the first 2 times did, except Cloyster didn't use Protect, and shoot! Now one-shot. And we got confused again. Great. After Lorelei uses a full restore, we thankfully break through the confusion and hit her with another Thunderbolt. That one-shot her. Huh. Why didn't that happen the last time? Guess it was just a damage range. Anyway, last is Jinx, and we break through the confusion again and land an Iron Tail that didn't miss, allowing us to one-shot her, preventing her from statusing us again and winning us the fight. Next is Flying Trainer Bruno. He starts with an Onix, so I go for Brick Break to hit super effectively, but I managed to hang on with red health and hit us with Rock Tomb for low damage, lowering our speed. Predicting the full restore, I use an Iron Tail this time getting a one-shot. He sends out a second Onix, who was also a one-shot with Iron Tail. Third is Hitmonchan. I Thunderbolted down to red health, but all I used was Counter, a move that can only counter physical moves, so I took it out with another Thunderbolt. Hitmonlee also survived Thunderbolt with red health, and counterattacks with a powerful Mega Kick, leaving us at just above half health. We go for a Brick Break to finish it off, but used another full restore to put Hitmonlee back at full health. Thankfully, our Brick Break scored a critical hit for a one-shot. Last is Machamp, who's definitely the strongest of his team. Machamp survived Thunderbolt on yellow health, but he only used Scary Face to lower our speed even more and healed with a Citrus Berry. We're still faster though, so we easily took it out with another Thunderbolt, winning us the fight. Next is Ghost Trainer Agatha. Ghost types tend to have low physical defense, so I use Iron Tail on the first Gengar for a one-shot. Next is Golbat, who's part Flying type, so I one-shot it with Thunderbolt. Third was Arbok, who lowered our attack with Intimidate. We take her to red health with Thunderbolt and she hits us with Sludge Bomb for a big chunk of damage and we get poisoned from it, so we're on a time limit. It takes 2 more Thunderbolts to take her out since Agatha used a full restore, and due to our lowered attack, the second Gengar survived an Iron Tail on yellow health, allowing her to take us out with Sludge Bomb. Next try and I use Double Team on the first Gengar, but she still manages to hit us with Toxic, badly poisoning us. So yeah, this attempt was doomed right then and there. Since I can't one-shot Arbok, it can hit us with Sludge Bomb, and that combined with the increasing poison damage just ends us. Okay, 3rd time's the charm. This time the first Gengar survived Iron Tail on a sliver of health, but only used Shadow Punch for low damage, so we don't have to worry about poison. A full restore later, and we took it out with 2 Thunderbolts. This time I tried to set up double teams on Golbat, but she still managed to land Confuser on us, so now we're confused. We hit ourselves in confusion, and she lands Poison Fang on us, bringing us to yellow health. But our stack ability activates, paralyzing her. After that, we snap out Confusion and manage to set up the rest of our double teams without getting hit again. Following that, we one-shot her with Thunderbolt. This time I used Brick Break on Arbok to deal a little damage so I can take it out on the next turn with Thunderbolt without being a full restore. It was easy since Arbok missed her Sludge Bomb thanks to our double teams. I used a Thunderbolt on the second Gengar, paralyzing it, while she missed her Hypnosis. A second Thunderbolt took it out. Last is Haunter, and Iron Tail still can't one-shot her due to Intimidate. She missed Hypnosis, Agatha used a full restore, and what you know, Thunderbolt ended up one-shotting it. So I guess Iron Tail wasn't that useful in this fight after all, due to Arbok's Intimidate. Well, anyway, that wins us the fight. Last is Dragon Trainer Lance. First up is Gyarados, our attack is down the whole fight from Intimidate. After taking it out with Thunderbolt, he brings out his first Dragonair. Iron Tail puts in yellow health and it uses Safeguard, so we take it out with Brick Break in the following turn. Then he brings out the second Dragonair. We Brick Break it this time, but it paralyzes us with Thunder Wave. I forgot that could happen to electric types in Generation 3. After that, he uses Outrage on us, but we counter-paralyze it with Stack and take it out with Iron Tail. When Dragonite comes out, I realized that I should have tried to use Double Team on Dragonair. I try to go for it here, but eventually get taken out by Outrage, even with Stack activating again. Alright, I really think this run's impossible without Double Team. Let's try this fight again with it. Second try, and after taking out Gyarados, I set my double teams on the first Dragonair. But despite this, he still manages to hit 4 Dragon Rages in a row, causing us to take 120 points of damage. And after taking it out, the second Dragonair still manages to land both Thunder Wave and Outrage without fail. It even managed to score a critical hit on us, knocking us out. What? Third time's the charm again. Gyarados is a one-shot. This time, setting up double team didn't go poorly. Dragonair only managed to land 1 hit with Outrage and got confused after 2 turns. Alright, good start. He hit himself in confusion twice and I landed an Iron Tail, landing it in red health. I tried to finish it off with Brick Break, but Lance used a full restore. After that, Iron Tail landed 2 critical hits in a row, taking out the first Dragonair and the second Dragonair after that. Alright. Dragonite only used Safeguard while I took it out with 2 Thunderbolts, one being a critical hit. And last is Aerodactyl, who was a one-shot with Thunderbolt, winning us the fight. Okay! Third time is the charm, it seems. Finally, it's the Pokemon Champion Rival fight. This fight was absolutely awful. In between Pidgeot crippling our accuracy and attack with Sand Attack and Feather Dance respectively, and having Aerial Ace, a move that can't miss despite Double Team, him and Arcanine switching us out with Whirlwind and Roar respectively, forcing me to restart since this is a Pikachu only run, right on having Earthquake that can one-shot me even at full health, Arcanine and Gyarados intimidates, lowering my attack even further, Alakazam paralyzing me when I paralyze it thanks to its Synchronize ability, Venusaur healing itself with Synthesis, and Double Team constantly failing on me when I needed to dodge a move. I lost this fight constantly! This fight took me 29 attempts, possibly 30 or more, since I was beginning to lose count. I was up past midnight trying to beat this fight. I tried so many times that I was beginning to lose hope. But I was just too gosh darn stubborn to give up so easily, or ever. So, I continued to persevere. And finally, I managed to get to the end. While maxing our double teams, Pidgeot lands a Feather Dance to lower our attack by 2 stages and gets paralyzed from Static when it uses Aerial Ace. After that, we one-shot with Thunderbolt. 3 Brick Breaks were just short of taking out Rhydon, but he missed all of his Earthquakes. Gary used a full restore and we land an Iron Tail lowering his defense, so another Iron Tail managed to take it out. Third was Alakazam and we missed Iron Tail while he misses Psychic. We land the next Iron Tail and he misses Psychic again. We take it out with Thunderbolt on the next turn. Gyarados came out and lowered our attack another stage with Intimidate. We one-shot with Thunderbolt and next is Arcanine who also has Intimidate, so our attack is down 4 stages. Arcanine missed Roar, so we easily took it out with 2 Thunderbolts. And last is Venusaur. We hit Thunderbolt for 1/4 of his health while he sets up a Sunny Day so he can use Sword Beam in only 1 turn. We use Thunderbolt again and he uses Growth to raise his special attack and he uses Citrus Berry for a little bit of health. Another Thunderbolt and he uses Synthesis to fully heal himself. Synthesis is stronger in Sunlight. We Thunderbolt again, he growths again, we Thunderbolt again, and he misses Sword Beam, which is crucial as the sunlight fades this turn. We're faster and he's at half health. We use Thunderbolt, and instead of using Synthesis to heal himself, he tries to use Solar Beam, and since the sunlight faded, he's stuck charging a turn. So we were free to land a final Thunderbolt, and finally win us the fight and the run! Yes! Yes! Finally! My first ever Pokemon challenge is complete! This run was tiring. I underestimated how long it would take to complete the game and how much work would be put into completing it and making this video. And that final fight was brutal. I was definitely right about Venusaur being the hardest for us to fight. With those 2 Pokemon having Intimidate and the star Pokemon resisting our stab moves, that final fight was absolute torture. But anyway, the question was, can I beat Pokémon FireRed while only using Pikachu in battle? And after a long, hard-fought, and grueling run, I can safely say that the answer is yes. Phew, this was a lot of work to do, but I gotta say, I think it was worth it in the end. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do another one of these in the near or distant future, but I think I've already got an idea down for what I'll do for a second challenge run if I ever decide to do it. To those of you who are still watching, thank you all so much for clicking on this video. If you like what I do or you want to see me do another one of these challenges, then please like the video, subscribe to the channel, share the news about this video and my channel to your friends and family, and comment down in the comment section below. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Or at least that's what MahDryBread tells me. And that's all for now. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see all of you guys in the next time. Peace out.